Today's Toy Spot, we'll be having a look at the Mattel DC Universe Batman Legacy Edition. We're looking today at the Arkham City 2-pack featuring Batman and Catwoman. Of the two figures, the reason Spot picked up this set was to get the Catwoman. The Batman he's not bad, but really for me the draw is Catwoman in this set, which I think is really what a lot of collectors bought this set for, was solely for the Catwoman. The packaging at the top features the Batman Arkham City logo. On the side there's a picture of Batman there, and a picture of the two figures. And if we flip over the package, on the back there, picture again of the two figures. As for the read-ups, it says Batman, as the gangs of criminals prowl the streets of the walled Arkham City, Batman searches for a sign of Catwoman, aka Selina Kyle. But time is running out. Now, in the acid-charred hands of Two-Face, Catwoman is about to face trial and public execution with the insane former district attorney as the judge and the jury. Batman must find Catwoman in time, save her from Two-Face, and escape alive, a feat even Batman will find nearly impossible. As for the read-up on Catwoman, orphaned at a young age, Selina Kyle was forced to fend for herself on the cold, cruel streets of Gotham City, ultimately turning to a life of larceny in order to survive. To help ensure her success as a cat burglar, Kyle studied martial arts and gymnastics, honing her strength and athleticism. As her thieving exploits grew more audacious, she adopted the nom de guerre Catwoman. Partly inspired by Batman, her crime-fighting foil, now armed with her cat-o'-nine-tails whip, she is on the hunt for Two-Face, a target that may lead her to her undoing. A pretty good read-up on the two figures. Definitely can't wait to get this opened up. I'm going to take a bit of a break. I'm going to get this out of package, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the two figures, Batman and Catwoman. Stay tuned, guys. There's more on the way. Stay tuned. And we'll just lay Selina Kyle down, just because she's going to fall anyways. Let's first have a look at Batman. Well, I think many would say that this Batman, sculpt-wise, looks more like the Arkham Asylum and Arkham City game than that of the DC Direct. I still really do not like this figure. The paint is good, and I like some of the texture work that they've put in the costume here. You can really zoom in here, you can see all the detail, the actual suit going on there. I like the bat emblem too, but there's just something about the face. I just have not warmed up to this face on this figure. This isn't the first time we've received this figure. In fact, this Batman was reused from a 2-pack with Two-Face, which I also did not like that Two-Face figure either. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I like the blue. I like the addition of the blue, and I think the paint is really done well on the face. But I don't know. It's an all-right sculpt, but it's just really not my cup of tea. I could really go with a cup of tea right about now. I like the choice of grays that they went with. We've got a real dark gray, almost more closer to black on the inside of the cape. And then we've got a gray. It's a weird gray, actually, that they went with the actual suit. And then the rest of the figure has this dark purpley blue. I think it works well on the figure. I also really like the cape sculpt that they went with too. But I don't know. It's just an all-right figure. And maybe I'm a little hard on the figure just for, I don't know. I don't really know the reason why I'm being so hard on it. It could just also be from the fact, and let's zoom in for a second. It could also just be for the fact that I just never liked Batman with eyes. That perhaps if he had no eyes and was just white pupils, Maybe I'd actually like this figure a little bit more, but it just seems a little, I don't know. Is there anybody out there that's going to come to Spot's defense and say, you know, Spot, I kind of feel the same way. There's just something about this figure face I don't care for. And then I would say, thank you. Thank you very much for at least backing me up. Because I'm sure everybody else is probably thinking, oh, Spot, come on. There's nothing wrong with this figure whatsoever. Now, unlike the DC Direct Batman, this Batman certainly has a lot more articulation. He has a ball-jointed head. Pretty much your standard DC Universe fare. He's got a pin and socket shoulder, a rotation then in the bicep, a bend at the arm. There's also rotation in the hand, upper torso bend, rotation in the waist, legs go back in and out, rotation in the thigh, bend at the knee, and also that hinged foot. I could maybe even say, if anything, that while I don't like this design, this look for Batman's face, perhaps the blue and the gray I think work a little bit better than the initial release of this figure. And I would say if you haven't had a chance to pick up this figure and have wanted to, maybe you couldn't find the Two-Face set, and you want Selina Kyle, well, obviously this is a no-brainer to get. Batman, I am going to give, oh, here we go. This is where the hate begins down below. I think I'm going to give Batman here a 6.5. Not a bad figure, just really not my cup of tea. Putting Batman down, really the draw for me, the reason why I got this set was the Selina Kyle. Catwoman, I think it looks really, really neat. Now she has her goggles on. I would have loved an option where you could have actually had removable goggles that you could either put above, above her eyes and have her face exposed, or you could have them down. Instead, they are just molded on, which is, it's a shame, but it is what it is. I mean, certainly as a comparison, if you wanted a ungoggled version of Catwoman, you could also get the DC Direct. This is the DC Direct. I just finished reviewing this one, the Arkham City Catwoman. And yeah, you can see that while there are similarities, the DC Universe Batman Legacy Catwoman doesn't have anywhere near the detail that the DC Direct does. But it's nice to kind of have both, because you can have the face on the DC Direct, a little more detail, but then you can have the benefit of what I think is a much more articulated, overall a really great figure. Because really, I like the benefit of this figure, even though we've already got a Catwoman from the DC Superheroes line, which then has been painted in the purple color scheme for the Gotham City 5-pack. She was an alright figure, but I mean, she was fragile and everything else. One thing I really like about this Catwoman is if you really wanted to, and I might just end up doing this, I'm probably going to have her displayed as a DC Universe figure. I mean, she's really part of the title anyways. She's part of the toy line. But this is also a great reason for me to get an updated Catwoman to add to the collection. So I can have her alongside, the DC Universe Wave 10 Joker, the Harley Quinn, and the other different figures that we've gotten throughout the years. Again, the detail on her maybe isn't as good, but I would almost say, here's something else to bring to the table. I would almost say she's got a better looking face than that of the DC Direct. The DC Direct Catwoman is still, it's not a bad figure, but the face is a little fugly. It's a little fugly. Whereas I really like this Catwoman, even though she has her goggles down, I think she has a much more feminine face going for her. You can see that she's even got her little choker going on there, which, I mean, the other Catwoman did have, but paint on her is pretty good. I mean, the detail is a little more simplified than that of the Arkham City Catwoman, but I think the detailing on this figure is still pretty good. It's pretty good. Amidst all the black on here, you've still got some silver going on here on the side of the zipper down below, some of the buckles on the sides. I also like the fact that her boots are a darker black as well, that they're just not one color. And you can see that there is some texture work that's done on the costume itself. Even on her side sleeves going on there. I guess her gloves. She's got some detail work going on there as well. Now her articulation, I'm just going to move the camera back a bit. Her articulation, she has a, I want to say it's a ball joint, but you're really not going to move her head up and down or anything like that. It's just mostly left and right. This figure could have really benefited from having that head go up and down. So you could kind of have her head a little lower down, a little higher up. Only seems to swivel though. She has a pin in the shoulder, so her arms move out, rotate left and right. There's a rotation in the bicep, a bend at the elbow, and a rotation in the hand. One thing I also like about this figure, unlike the DC Superheroes Catwoman, is the arm is a lot more secure on this figure than that of the DC Superheroes. I mean, that figure, I mean, everybody knows by now, some of those early female figures, these arms are so fragile. She also has the upper torso bend. She has rotation in the waist, legs bend out, back and forth, rotation in the thigh, bend at the knee, and there is also a bend in the foot. There's actually a pin right there. Now to get the foot to bend though, doesn't look like it wants to, just a little bit. I'm not going to really force it though. Now whereas the Batman didn't come with any accessories, the Catwoman does come with her whip. Put that in her hand. I like that at least Catwoman got an accessory. She does definitely need a whip. Just a great figure though. Not so much a fan of the Batman, really digging the Catwoman. The Catwoman is definitely a must pick up. Even if you don't like DC, well, even if you don't like the Batman Arkham City, and you just want an updated Catwoman to go with your DC Universe figures, I definitely think this is a figure you should be checking out. Now, Catwoman of the Legacy 2-pack here, I am going to give her an 8.5. If you can find her, now she is a little more of this. Even the loose versions of her on eBay are a little more of this. But if you can find her, definitely worth picking up. We'll bring Batman back into the picture. A sweet, sweet couple. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Mattel DC Universe Batman Legacy Arkham City 2-pack. That's a long title spot. We're having a look at a repainted Batman, and we're also having a look at Catwoman. Thanks for watching, guys, as you always do. Let me know down below your thoughts on these figures, and perhaps even give me a rating. Rate what you think these figures are worth, and perhaps go a little easy again on Spot. It's not really my favorite Batman. But thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.